Hey, episode 174, we quit. Bye, JK. Episode 174, we made a podcast. If you,
174.
yeah, if you're here listening, we love you. And this is going to be, hopefully, this is going to be the shortest episode ever. There's nothing going on in football. Nations League is capped. We can't even watch CONMEBOL World Cup qualifiers because soccer is growing so much in America. Oh my God, it's growing so much. Can you believe how much soccer is growing in America? It's bullshit. The only thing really cracking in the news right now is Caesar's cousin, Cristiano Ronaldo, the African. Well, Caesar took away his Africanness a while back.
What, when I dyed my hair?
No, see, you took away Ronaldo's Africanness a while back, and I guess I don't know if you gave it back, but if you did give it back, maybe you're gonna take it back away. I'm not sure.
I mean, I do have jurisdiction of taking and getting back them when I want.
Hey,
I'm going to do this I see fit for my people.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. Go ahead and do it. I mean, I seen the pictures you showed from your home city. I'm like, if anything is Africa, is that picture of Caesar?
And it was a beautiful city. Thank you. Nice. What a compliment, Africa and Brazil. Thank you. Beautiful city.
Well, the only reason I'm saying that is because I had a friend from Uganda, and he was showing me pictures of Uganda. I was like, God damn.
I was like Bahia.
Well, I mean, that part, I was like, yeesh. And then when you showed me a picture, I'm like, damn, it looked like just like the same exact picture from Uganda.
Well, we made a podcast. I mean, if we ain't leaving, we're gonna be forced to leave after this. But go ahead.
Yeah, anyway, but we quit anyway. Okay, so we only got a few things to talk about. We're going to talk about the World Cup qualifiers a little bit, the CONMEBOL ones. Talk about Ronaldo. He got a lot of stuff going on right now. And we'll talk some shit about Mesut Ozil because he's annoying. Anyway, CONMEBOL World Cup qualifiers started last week. That would be exciting if we could watch them.
Sucks.
It does suck a lot. Like, honestly, the first match day, like, I think the first game was Paraguay versus Peru. I would have watched that. Like, I would have watched that match. But anyway, first match day was Paraguay versus Peru, Uruguay versus Chile, Argentina versus Ecuador, Colombia versus Venezuela, Brazil versus Bolivia. Something interesting, no home team lost, which is kind of like a thing when it comes to World Cup qualifiers in CONMEBOL. But Paraguay, Peru tied 2-2. Uruguay beat Chile 2-1. Argentina beat Ecuador 1-0 on a penalty. Colombia beat Venezuela 3-0. And Brazil beat the dog shit out of Bolivia 5-0. I wish I kind of knew what was going on in Bolivian politics right now. I know they're going through some elections, but I don't know exactly what's going on.
But there's one president still in jail, right?
No. What's his name?
The one that we like.
Wait. Hold on. Don't tell
Former
me.
president.
Yeah. What? Don't. I did not forget his name.
You did.
I can see his face. I can see his haircut.
Of course, you can see his face.
I'll remember it. I'll remember it at some point. Like, why do I keep thinking Carlos? It's not Carlos. And I'm thinking something with an M too. Okay, you looking it up? Go ahead.
Yeah.
I know you got that neck over. I know you looking.
Oh, you know this name, dog.
Is it something with an M, right?
Yes.
Oh, why? I've tweeted his name a million times.
Evo.
Oh, Evo Morales. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ava 8 shotgun. That's him.
Yeah. He's not in jail. I think he was in Mexico for a little bit, but I don't know if he went back somewhere in South America. Maybe like, I think he's somewhere in South America now. He went to Mexico for a little bit.
This dude was president for a minute. Suspect.
Where is he right now? Does it say?
It's I'll just keep on. I'll let you know.
Okay. But yeah, they're having some elections in Bolivia right now. Hopefully his party can get back in power because it was an illegal coup that happened. But on the low, he was trying to change the Constitution so he could be president longer, which I'm not
I
mad
mean,
at.
yeah, damn, he was. This is quite the term he's on there.
Literally, okay, but he's the first indigenous president of Bolivia ever.
I can respect him trying to regain the land for his people. You know what I'm saying? It was taken from his people. That was definitely his land.
Dog,
They were there first, but I mean, damn, dog. You know, you gotta move the seat on to somebody. Like,
I mean, true, but like, dog, before that, Bolivia was just like cocaine trafficker, and like I think the dude before him like barely even spoke Spanish.
Look, trust me. Like, I'm with this dude. This is the homie. Like, I like him. I'm with him.
But
Like, this is a real one. He's a real one. But my dude, 06 to 19 is quite the time, my friend. I've never had a job that long in my life. And you
wait,
over here, Perez?
06 to what?
2006 to 2019. That's
13
quite the bid,
years?
dog.
Okay, but Caesar, hold on.
That's quite the bid, dog.
But how long are their terms? It might be like 6 or 7 years.
What do you think Bolivia is, man?
What are you talking about? They might have 6 or 7 year
This
terms.
show went from soccer. Now we're talking about presidential terms in Bolivia.
You started.
I mean, it can go down.
You started. We're trying to keep this the shortest episode ever. Remember.
According to Bolivian Constitution, the president is elected to popular vote to a 5-year term with a 2-year term limit.
2 times?
2-term limit. So 10 years.
So he got elected 2006 and then 2011.
2016, he should have been done. He's like, nah, son, 3 more years. 3 more years.
Hey, man. It's
like, I can do 13 years.
I mean, honestly, I blame America for the lack of democracy in the world. Like, honestly,
I will gladly blame America for him trying to whatever, do all that. Like, he's like, I wasn't done yet. There's a lot of work to do here, which I can respect. But, you know, maybe you got to move on and be like administrator or something like that. You know what I'm saying? You got to find a new role, dog. You just put somebody else to just smile over there, and you just do some work in the background. That'd be nice.
That's what Putin did. Really quick before I get into match day 2, so they had that goal.com had that tweet about, is UEFA or CONMEBOL better, like stronger? And if you go to We Made It Podcast Twitter, you know, everything is political. And I said, if the School of Americas never existed, then CONMEBOL would be much stronger. Like, it wouldn't even be a question. Now, I'm not going to get here and explain what the School of Americas is or was.
I mean, we already talked about, Bolivia presidential terms, so.
Yeah, I'm not going to do all that because that's a lot. But I would encourage anyone to look up what the School of Americas is. It was located in Fort Benning, Georgia. That's when you're talking about the lack of democracy is because of that place right there in Georgia, where they trained all them people to go back to their countries and do coups and murder people, death squads, everything. And I remember I went on a date with a young lady, her family was from El Salvador, and we had a long conversation about that because her dad was one of them generals from the School of Americas in El Salvador, and he had done a lot of dirt. And she was like, yeah, he just sits in his mansion. He doesn't ever talk. It's imaginary.
I didn't like that question that was posed. And, you know, I don't want to sound like, you know, like, oh, I'm whining or whatever, but I just don't like that question. I don't think it's fair to ask that question. You're going to ask, UEFA, you know how many freaking countries are in Europe, including teams in UEFA that aren't in Europe? You got 55. Teams in there that aren't even in Europe, dog.
55.
There's some teams that are not in Europe. That's not using a map to make that team. And if you're not using a map to make that team, then why does CONMEBOL have to restrict themselves to a map also? If you were to combine, first of all, you know what? I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this because that question is so loaded, dog. That question is so loaded. Not even judging by some of the players in those teams that are where they are due to maybe historic colonialism, different nationalities, all this stuff. You're gonna say the better teams? That's not fair. Second of all, like literally, you could have still went is who's better UEFA, Brazil all time. You still could have balled out with just Brazil alone. Like that's love to CONMEBOL. Uruguay has a historic tradition. Argentina has a historic tradition. Brazil has a historic tradition. those teams have all combined for, I think, like 13 World Cup, 12 World Cup wins in its history. That's great. But in no way is it fair to CONMEBOL at 10 teams in CONMEBOL against 55 nations. If anything, if you're gonna do that, just pick. You should have done. Are the top 10 UEFA teams better than 10 CONMEBOL teams? Don't all of them, dude. All these 55 dudes gonna throw a name in the hat.
You get Mkhitaryan?
You can have Mkhitaryan. Mkhitaryan would have a hard time making the U18s. Listen, like y'all get to pick Lewandowski? Really? You get to pick Lewa? How many World Cups that country got? I'll wait. Like, that's not fair.
I mean, it really, the worst part about it is they get to have a person that was born in Africa. Like, come on, dog. Like, we really over here talking about dudes. I mean, you got someone that's like really born in Africa. Then you got other dudes who was actually born in mainland Africa too.
I mean, you got guys that literally went on a plane and then went over there, or maybe went on a plane or whatever they did, and immigrated and banned life, and then they started to play for them. Like that. Come on, dog. You know what's funny about that? What can you say about that CONMEBOL team? You got anybody on the team born in Spain and then plays for Argentina? No. You got anybody on that team that's born in Cape Verde but plays for Brazil? Nah. You don't got none of that stuff going on.
I mean, literally, like, basically,
nobody on that team is literally as OG as it gets. This team is all those guys on that team had to get on a plane and play over there. And then some of those guys on that team too had to get on a plane just to represent that team. The CONMEBOL team got nothing but originators.
I mean, honestly, the only carpetbagger is your boy Higuain, who was born in France.
Indeed. But I mean, I barely count him, but that's cool.
But yeah, I mean that is a big deal. Like, you have a lot of guys that, like, the top teams in UEFA. Let's just say the top teams that have won the World Cup recently, France and Germany. I guess, I mean, Spain won it somewhat recently too, but I don't think they had any carpetbaggers. I'm not going to call them another word that you used.
Carpetbaggers.
I mean, whatever. It's better than the word you used. But France and Germany have a lot of carpetbaggers.
This is my question, though.
Toni Kroos was born in East Germany. He should be playing for Russia.
I mean, this is my question to you. So FIFA has to be the flag of this because it's the most international sport in the world. Yes. The largest, most eyes on it. What was the last World Cup? Didn't have like some like stupid number, like 1.2 billion views or some dumb number it had. Some bonkers number it had. It's the biggest sport in the world. No matter what country you go, there's going to be a team there. It just goes down no matter what. This is a sport that needs to be not only is the face, but needs to be the flag bearer. It needs to be the one to innovate. That if they're sending a message about no racism, then they got to stand by it. So I'm like, if you're talking about your message is like, okay, no racism, all equality in the sport, I'm down. Now, there's things that branch off of that are very important. When you're talking about, these players, where are they from, and all these players against each other, different ages, I don't think that's very fair. I don't think that's right, dude.
Wait a minute. Hold up, because you said a lot and not saying much. Are you trying to say that they shouldn't allow carpetbagging?
No, I'm not saying that. But I don't think if you're going to allow I'm not going to say that word. If you're not going to allow it, if it's okay for Sergio Dest, who's only been to I don't know, America Samoa before, and now he can play for America, whatever. And you watch his interviews, I'm like, wow, what a proud American, cool. Inspiring me to go, woo, I can't wait to be a fullback now. You're gonna let Sergio Dest do that, then you can't I don't feel like it's fair to do like comparison lists. I don't like that. That's kind of whack to me.
Well, okay, well, FIFA didn't do the list. It was goal.com. But I feel you though. Like, we're talking about, and honestly, like, there's an argument for and against carpetbagging. I'm for it just because I don't really want that level of like nationalism, like that, like racial nationalism, like in the sport, because that can easily happen. Like, you don't want people being like, oh, okay, like like, okay, we're only gonna have people born in France, and then like, well, is he really French? Like, I don't want to be doing that. You know what I mean?
And it could get worse for even places like Spain, where people are like, well, we only want people born in like this region, and
Exactly.
and I'm with you too. Like, I agree, and
Yes.
I'm only doing this because I'm trolling, and I do kind of feel some other type of way. But I would never want to get to the extreme where it's like, oh, you like, for example, like maybe if I'm young and my dream was to play for America, and they told me like, no, you can't play for us. I'm like, damn, dude, I've been here 20 years, or I've been here 15 years. I don't know these fools. I don't know what they're doing down there. I don't want to go to that locker room down there.
You go.
I'm saying, like, I don't want it to be that shit. I don't want it to be like that. But if you're gonna have it, I get to do this face when I see that roster. I get to when they do a whole press conference and you got Zalilam picking between 6 nations, I get to go like this.
Caesar, you gonna
When I see Sergio Dest waving the flag around like this, all right, waving the flag around, okay, but he never had popsicle Thursdays in elementary school here, then I'm not, I don't know, dog.
Well, first of all, you're gonna be like, look, I can play for America. I can't play for Brazil. God damn, dog. There's 2 different monsters there, man.
Yeah, I'm never gonna make that team. That team is stupid. Can I please play here?
Please, I want to
go.
You're gonna be like, I want to go to South Africa and shit. Damn.
I'll be like, I'll play for Angola right now. Can I do anything to not make Brazil's team? This team is literally as all stars it gets.
Seriously. But what's the name? Yeah, like carpetbagging is whatever. But going back to the like comparison, it is a lot different when you're talking about like, I mean, how I feel is like, yo, like a lot of these countries have like so much turmoil and like so many like politically bad things that happen, and it was literally caused by the United States of America. There's a thing called the Monroe Doctrine, and like we have the disappearance, like the stuff in Argentina. They did a military coup in Uruguay. Chile is like, outstanding. Viva Allende. Brazil, even.
Brazil. Not only that, I mean, also some of the nations involved in that list like are directly in hand with some of the turmoil in power overthrows in South American countries. You had, there's a Dutch player there. There's countries that had influence in the Americas also, like during the era of like colonialism and all the stuff going on. So it's like, to me, it's like,
far back.
Lists like this, like that's why I said, like, I'm not saying I have a problem with having a comparison. It's fine, but you need to like say like, oh, like top 10, or like you CONMEBOL kind of already goes in with a crutch. We're only having 10 teams in its league anyways. The reason me and Bam want to watch this tournament, because out of all the qualifiers, I don't gotta watch Serbia versus whatever. I don't have to do that. But in UEFA, you have to do that. You have to struggle through these matches. Wales versus who knows what. Fine, whatever. But when you watch CONMEBOL, no matter what, honestly, you're always going to get pretty much a good matchup. Even when it's like Bolivia, Venezuela, sometimes there's big stakes involved. There's stakes involved because the tournament, when you have 10 teams involved, any kind of loss affects you. That's why when Brazil made that run, it was phenomenal, because this is a stressful tournament. It's a tough tournament, and they literally took no L's for a long-ass time. That's impressive.
2 things. That qualifiers don't play with me, because Cavani was leading scorer. And another thing, don't be bringing up Wales. Forget about Gareth Bale, but the legend Joe Allen and Catherine Zeta-Jones.
And Aaron Ramsey.
Another legend. Don't be playing with me.
Daniel James, future legend.
You dig? Don't be playing with me about Wales.
So you write on the show to be, transparent. You write for Wales and Ireland.
You
ride for Wales and Ireland and UEFA.
I'm an Irish nationalist person.
Irish nationalist, but heavy supporter of Wales.
Yeah. Have you ever seen Captain
Zeta-Jones? Here comes the movie that like maybe 3 people have seen in North America. Like here's what is the movie? Go, please.
I mean, look, Catherine Zeta-Jones is a phenomenal actress, and also Wales is colonized. You know what I mean? But we got way off topic. But let me go back to CONMEBOL qualifiers match day 2.
This is why they need to bring us back qualifiers because we want to do this. I like getting very nationalist about these matchups. That's why I missed the World Cup reviews. It was fun. It got like we talked about why has cheered for Bosnia or why cheered for Iran. You know what I'm saying? It's fun to do that. If you don't do that during World Cups or tournaments, you're boring. That's the best part.
Yeah, it's always political for me, so I'm just always
it's straight political.
Yeah, seriously. Brazil's obviously Brazil's the strongest team in CONMEBOL by far. So they won again 4-2. Neymar had a hat trick, 2 penalties, and a nice little tap in off a rebound. Peru's goals were gangster though. It was 2 volleys. One of them was a pretty big deflection, but the first volley might end up being goal of the tournament. Chile and Colombia tied. Venezuela and Paraguay. Paraguay won 1-0. Uruguay lost to Ecuador 4-2. So shoddy refereeing that match though. And Argentina beat Bolivia 2-1. Why do I not have the standings here? Let me look at this. It's only 2 match days. It's not a big deal. But yeah, I feel like Brazil, as long as they have Neymar, they're just really, the only teams that I could see causing a little bit of trouble to Brazil is Uruguay when they get Cavani back and Colombia, because Colombia is looking pretty good too. I feel like, obviously I only watched the highlights, but I feel like Davinson Sanchez might get a little bit more confidence when he's playing for Colombia than when he's playing for Tottenham, because I can't imagine what it's like playing for Mourinho right now. But I to be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if, what is it? I think it's 18 matches. What's 18 times 3? It's something 7. What's 18 times 3? Something 4. 54? 54? No, it can't be that much. Hey, come on, dog.
I'm pulling up the calculator.
Oh, that's a damn shame.
I've been out of college for a while now. Times 3?
Yeah.
54.
Ooh. I wouldn't be surprised if Brazil gets I could see Brazil getting 45 points.
Yeah, they look like they're in peak form.
With Neymar. With Neymar though. Without Neymar, it's not going to be that easy.
No, I think it'll be closer without Neymar, but maybe if Neymar goes down, they start calling Vinny up. And then Vinny balls out.
Yeah, but they're different though. It's still a different but it's still a different monster though.
Vinny show. Nah, but actually I think the worst combo in history would be Vinny and Roberto Firmino, because I would like a more direct striker with Vinny, someone that's a straight finisher with Vinny, than someone who's also can pass as well. I'm not saying that Roberto Firmino can't shoot anything, but it's just that I think for Roberto Firmino's too balanced to be next to someone like Vinny. I think Vinny is someone that's more like a Gabriel Jesus, who's just going for that. You feel me?
I think. Well, okay. Let me just say, Brazil got 41 points last time in qualifiers.
That was on 3 ties, right? Or 3 or 4 ties.
5 draws and 1 loss.
5 draws and 1 loss. Yeah. So yeah. They could get 45. They could eliminate 2 or 3 of those draws. They can only have 2 draws and have 1 loss, and then run on the table again like that. That streak was ridiculous, dude. That was
they killed it
all day.
Yeah, they killed it. What's the name? And then they got 41 points, and the next one after them was Uruguay with 31. So there was 10 points behind them. So that's probably the more of the norm is between 30 and something.
Yeah, Cavani scored all them goals for no reason.
What do you mean no reason? They are second in qualifying. What do you mean no reason? What do you mean?
Went to the ranch real quick.
What are you talking about? He went to the World Cup.
We're going to start working on that farm real fast.
He went to the
what a waste of time.
Went to the World Cup and scored goals too, and knocked out Portugal.
Goals?
Yeah, and knocked out Portugal.
Yeah. Oh man, you knocked out a tiny ass country. Good for you, dog.
Yeah. What did Ronaldo do?
Huh?
Yeah, he helped him off the field.
Ronaldo has a trophy. Relax, okay?
He don't got no World Cup trophy.
Yeah, no.
But anyway, let me see how many goals. Neymar scored 6 goals last time, but it was weird because Cavani had 10, but then like after that it was like 7 and 6. Messi had 7 and Neymar had 6. Gabriel Jesus had 7 actually, but you know what? Actually, I take you know what that doesn't even matter because Neymar was injured for a while during qualifiers. There was like a long time he didn't play. Anyway, let's just not get all caught up in that. I could see Brazil getting like 45 points. That would be like outstanding. It might even be a record. Who knows? Like Uruguay's playing well. Colombia's playing well. Argentina is like okay. I feel like once like things start heating up, they could end up in the same position as last time, barely making it in. Peru always plays really good football.
Peru always plays really good, but then when it gets close to the end, like they start having trouble.
Well, they made it to the World Cup last time. I think they were fourth.
Yeah, they
or third or something like that.
Yeah, wasn't the last spot was taken by Argentina, right?
Yeah, but I think Peru was the
fourth or third, right?
Something like that. Anyway, CONMEBOL World Cup qualifiers. Hopefully, they end up getting on TV somehow because this is just a shame. Anyway, what time is it?
Anyway, yeah, please.
We're already past the shortest episode ever.
Yeah, Bam hates me. That's why.
No, you started talking about Bolivia. I mean,
you start talking about Bolivia. I looked it up for you.
Okay, so your boy Ronaldo, man, this case is not going away. The rape case from 2010, it's going to be heard by a judge. Let's see. When is it going to be heard again by a judge? Soon, because the judge is determining whether the woman, Catherine Mayorga, was in the right mental state to sign their agreement. And there was something interesting in this. So the reason, okay, so I don't remember this from before, but they're saying that her lawyers have stated that, the reason why they filed the lawsuit, this is actually funny, because she's stating, the reason why they filed the lawsuit in 2018 is because Ronaldo's people violated their confidentiality agreement by allowing reports about the situation to leak in 2017. That's when we talked about it initially, when it first kind of came out. And I think that was episode 2 or 4 when I mentioned it briefly, because I remember it was in Das Spiegel or some German thing, something like that. So she was it came back out y'all, that's nobody was ever supposed to know, basically. But Ronaldo's lawyers are saying that came out because there was a hack, and it was illegally hacked and stolen by cyber criminals. So that's going to be interesting, because she was saying she wanted $200,000 more because of the information getting out there. What's funny is that it came out and we talked about it, but then it didn't become a bigger deal to the next year when you banned, and that's when you banned him. So it's gonna go to court again soon, and we'll see. It doesn't look like anything's gonna happen, to be honest with you, but because it seems kind of flimsy, but we'll see.
To me, it's kind of crazy because I think that's somebody that's a case to me that I don't think it's ever really going to go away or die. No matter what happens, I've never looked at him the same. I'm sorry. Even though the case was we moved on from it, I guess, and everything, but it didn't mean anybody's necessarily innocent in it, and when you and I think Ronaldo knows that's something you have to live with and fight forever too. I mean, like, you know what you did, dog. And part of the repercussions of that in life is that you're gonna have to live with that forever. Like, no matter how many kids you have, no matter how much money you make, no matter all the great things you do, that night where you decided to, be kind of a weirdo, that's on you, dude. When you decide to act out like that, that's what happens to you. And it's a damn shame because, you know,
I mean, it's interesting because I never saw that part when it came out when we talked about it before. So it seems like what all the information from before, and I don't want to say all, like I read everything, and we read a lot, but it seemed like she had an issue with, like, her and her representatives had an issue with the information getting out to the public, and so they wanted more money, because they're saying you guys violated the agreement, but then his representatives are saying that we didn't violate it. Excuse me, there was a hack, and we can't control that. So I don't really know how that's going to play out legally. I mean, the situation is thus, like, we have like a settlement from his deposition or whatever. It seemed like he violated. I don't necessarily want to use the R word, but it is a rape case. But there was a settlement, and a settlement isn't an admission of guilt. But like when he was talking, it definitely was like he took shit too far. When the case came back out, it was making it seem like she ran through the money and she wanted more.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was kind of like, and I feel like that's what a lot of the people were saying, like, oh, she like spent the money, whatever. She just wants some more money. And it's like, no, like there's like they signed an agreement. Like there's a settlement with an agreement. It's legally binding. And from her and her representatives' estimation, they broke the agreement. You know what I mean? So like, we'll see what happens when this goes to court. Like when the judge hears it, the judge might just dismiss it again. But it's an interesting case. Like, what do you do when you sign an agreement with somebody and then you're saying that it got hacked? Like,
Yeah, I don't really know. I don't really know legal proceedings in these kind of situations at all. I barely know legal proceedings in any situation. So it's kind of a weird story to take. And obviously, Ronaldo has probably some the world's finest lawyers of humanity has ever spawned on this earth. So who knows? The rebuttal for a hack could be something we don't know about. That's in some kind of writing that we don't know either, because Lord knows if I heard that was the comeback, I was like, what are these guys digging up? That's incredible. I'd be like, what a comeback. I didn't see that one coming. So, we'll see what happens. I just hope that the proper justice is served, and regardless of it, I hope that if it does turn out that the violation on Ronaldo's end and he just does it properly, he does it the right way and handles it appropriately. And I just don't want the situation to get messy because, there's real lives involved. And I know people, we tend to enjoy the gossip and celebrity, but there's real people involved and there's people with kids and lives involved. So let's just hope this just goes smoothly.
absolutely. Also, your boy Ronaldo tested positive for COVID-19 yesterday, today is October 14th. That would be October 13th. And hopefully he's okay. They're saying he's asymptomatic, but really interesting. His sister came out and was saying that it's like the biggest fraud that she's ever seen. She said that if Cristiano Ronaldo is the one who has to wake the world up, I have to say that this Portuguese really is an envoy from God. I believe that today, thousands of people who have come to believe so much in this pandemic and the tests and the measures taken will, like me, see it as the biggest fraud I've seen since I was born. A phrase that I read today and that I stood up to applaud: enough fooling the entire world. Someone open your eyes, please. So, yeah,
Big QAnon Katia right there. Go off, girl.
yeah, she's red pilled on the pandemic there, and I was like, interesting. I was looking on her Instagram to see if there was some QAnon insignias there. I didn't see any.
Anybody watch Ronaldo documentary? I'm not surprised. Go off though.
Why? Like, I don't remember.
I saw the documentary. I see how the fam rolls around. I see what the deal is. It's all good, you know. I've tend to notice that people that you know, are a little turned up, you know, don't want to really spend time educating and getting to really know the situation and want to just search on YouTube and Google articles and then, you know, talk all cool online. Those are the tend of people that want to be the ones that are, you know, big anti, and they throw these big claims out like, since I was born, you know, like that kind of stuff. Because, you know, since you were born, it's clearly the evidence of like humanity's progress. Thank you. I'm glad you've been keeping track on island on what's been going on your little island and how everything's been going since you were born. That's great to know on my data. So, you know, I think this is how I like to see it also. Like, you know, also like your brother made it out from that island, you know, and also from the continent of Africa. You know, he was kind of spawned from there in this island that was, you know, I mean, Bam, if we could see the map, you'd see the distance is pretty close. You know, show him, Bam, how close that is. Man, that's really close to Africa right there, dog. So if your brother made it out from there and did one of the most miraculous things ever in history, he made it out of there and became a global megastar, something no one has ever seen, right? Billions, millions of followers, whatever, billions made. You're willing to believe that story, you know, but you can't believe that you know, some 100,000 people in the world have been died from this, and this is serious. That's funny, you know. Maybe, you know, maybe if someone told you years ago that your brother's never going to be anything, you might have believed that too, right? Because that's because never in your life, no one has ever made out of Madeira either. That was a big time superstar and a global icon. So, you know, it's just corny to me. It's whack. I don't think it's funny when people like to throw around that people's lives who really got sick from this didn't exist and it's a farce. I don't know who got to become God on this earth and got to just speak on everybody else and what they're really dealing with and how they're sick in life. So that's cool. It's only seeming to be something you believe in if you really die from it, right? Okay, so go ahead.
Caesar been trying to give me COVID for months.
You know, maybe she would have been a believer if her brother just keeled over and died. Is that what she wants? Because then she's gonna believe, right? If he bends over and just dies right there, then it's all good, right? Then it's like, oh man, it was serious. Because in my life, I have finally witnessed something that has been as immaculate as has been spoken about. God, I'm sick of coronavirus and iron. I'm sick of it, dude. I already deal with it in stupid ass MMA all day, and I gotta deal with it with Ronaldo's ratchet sisters. I'm done, dog. Damn. We all saw the documentary. We know you're watching Geordie Shore. Just stop it, okay?
Anyway, Caesar's wilding out. I mean, I feel you. I'm definitely very annoyed with all the conspiracy theory people. It's very annoying. I don't even know why it's a big deal for her. Like, yo, your brother's gonna isolate for a little bit, and then he's gonna go back just like all the other players. Hopefully, that'll be the best case scenario. So, like, I mean, like, it's just not even that big of a deal. Like, it's like, yo, like, he's just gonna go isolate and he's gonna be fine. You know, like, what's the problem here? But I mean, she's an anon, and you never know. We all know them. We all know a few.
Yeah, we even know some people that are in actual positions of power, unfortunately, too. So
this is true. Last but not least, your boy Mesut Ozil. I just want to spend a little bit of time on him because I feel like he's a cancer. I don't know if you looked at the show notes, but you would have giggled. I mean, actually, I know you didn't, but so
I did see it. I saw that's probably one of the funniest titles you've ever had ever.
Don't say it.
I'm gonna say it. You called him a carpetbagger, right? No.
Here you go. Caesar, just look now. It's okay.
No, I don't.
Caesar, I know when you go looking over there, you're looking at the computer. It's fine. So Ozil was not included in Arsenal's Europa League squad. And, like, the only reason that's news is because he's their highest paid player. But, like, I like that Arteta did that, but also at the same time, I'm like, Arteta, like, you literally, okay, we're trying to make this the shortest show ever, but So Guendouzi had to go. We're going to be done before 4:15. It's going to be less than an hour. Guendouzi had to go on loan to Hertha Berlin. And it made it seem like Guendouzi's like some toxic individual. But you know what? For them U21s, Guendouzi's the captain for France. So it's a little bit interesting to me. Like, I feel like maybe it's Arteta's ego, because I feel like if he was such a toxic individual and he had done something really bad at Arsenal, like the France coaches would be like, let somebody else be the captain. Like, maybe we'll play him, but we won't let him be the captain because, he did slap Arteta or something like that. Like, so I feel like maybe Arteta's ego got in the way between that relationship, and because I just think Guendouzi's phenomenal. And although U21s are like not real, I did watch France playing the U21s, and Guendouzi's we're still ridiculous. But yeah, so Ozil was not included, and then he did that weird thing like Arsenal was gonna let the little mascot dude go, and then like Ozil came out like, "Oh, I'm gonna pay his salary." And I was like, I feel like you're clout chasing at that point. Like, come on, dog. Like, you're clout chasing, homie. Like, there's not even fans at the damn stadium. Like, you're just trying to make Arsenal look bad. What's his name? Then Arsene Wenger came out talking about Ozil. I actually liked a lot of what he had to say. Obviously, Arsene Wenger was there when Ozil went to Arsenal from Real Madrid. He said, the question was, you signed Ozil for a then club record fee. What do you make of his career currently? Arsene Wenger says, I feel it is a waste for him. Firstly, because in his years where a player of his talent can produce the most, let's skip that. He said, okay, Arsene Wenger said this. The way football is going at the moment is quick counter-pressing, quick transitions, and everybody plays the same. It's kicked out players like Ozil. Although, let's not forget, this guy is a world champion. He played at Real Madrid. So Arsene Wenger is not saying like, oh, he can't play, but he's just basically saying like, dude, there's no place for a guy like that. Like, you got to be down to run, willing to run, and like be quick out there. And that's not his game, which is for us. We're saying, why don't you just go to Italy?
I don't think he can go to Italy. I think that some of the issue that some of these players I think are having, such as Alex Sanchez, is EPL plays these inflated wages for these players.
I know.
And other leagues in the world, I'm like, dude, we're not doing that, homie. Like, we can't afford that, especially right now. You really think any Italian team can afford that right now? They can barely afford to. I don't even know how so many teams are open. 4 years ago, they were having financial issues with the fans. They were giving out free game tickets to go to games. Just come through. Bam, I remember one time we were reading about them having free streams of the games. Like, they were doing anything to get people to watch and participate just because they wanted a TV deal of some sort. They needed money coming in. So I know they're coronavirus. I know the one league probably got just decimated. The most is probably Italian league. It's probably rough for them. So I can't imagine anybody unless they're willing to do a wage split. And my thing is, like, if I'm Arsenal, unless like I don't know what maybe merchandise is just still good. Obviously Ozil is someone who's popular in probably Turkey and other countries as well too. He probably has a big worldwide fan base, big player. Like we've heard about him. He's around the world. And now he's been speaking on political issues too. Obviously talking about what's going on in China and stuff. So his name is probably floated even in areas that wasn't really popular before. So there could be some draw to that. Maybe whenever they say his name on the website, it gets the most clicks. We don't really know what the deal is. So they might see some interest in just keeping him on the EPL roster, keeping him on that roster. Because Arteta was probably like, I don't want him at all. We're like, dude, we can't afford, no one's going to pay for him. And we don't want to pay 70% for him to go on another team and whoop our ass. Like, that's just not really what we want to do.
Ozil probably over here tweeting in SARS too.
Ozil probably don't believe in coronavirus either. But listen, the thing is that regardless of it, is that I get what Arteta did, but I feel like some part of me feels like it'd be more gangster if we put him on the team, on both rosters, because just in case, like at the end of the day, regardless of what he said, he is a player. Like, he's still a player. he's not 28 talking S. He's like older. Time is ticking on his side too. He damn near runs around like he's 44, but it's all good. Like, keep him on the roster. You never know what could happen, and maybe something comes of it. Now, maybe also it could be like Ozil's kind of like a Gareth Bale situation where it's just like it's a headache. Like it's a headache no matter what you deal with, and he was able to get a Guendouzi because I'm sure Guendouzi's wages are significantly smaller than Ozil. Like probably like Guendouzi's probably still in that rookie contract. Probably like baby money he's getting. It's ridiculous. So that's why he's going to some team like what Werder Bremen or some rough team he's on. What team is he on?
Hertha Berlin.
Hertha Berlin. Jesus, even worse. At least one team's in Champions League. So it sucks. Guendouzi's a sensational player, but I'm not really sweating about him because Guendouzi's young. Like young dudes, things like that are going to happen. There's going to be situations where you got to your path is going to get deviated. You got to go around a little bit. Look at De Bruyne. De Bruyne had an issue with Mourinho. They moved him over to Wolfsburg. He shined at Wolfsburg, and everybody in the world wanted him, and he came back. So the same thing can happen to Guendouzi too. It's not a sentence to him. It's not like I got sent to CPL. Obviously when people go to Chinese Premier League, I'm like, I don't what happened to this guy? I'm like, oh, he's in China? What? That happens all the time.
Super League. Get it right.
Chinese Super League. I'm sorry. Yeah, so.
Well, I mean, I feel you, and I'm not like against what you're saying about keeping him on the roster, but I honestly wouldn't. And also, like, I just feel like Ozil has just become like the ultimate clout chaser, and it just feels like he uses his platform to push like the agenda of Turkey. Like, because I'm just looking now, he's like talking about this thing with Armenia and Azerbaijan, and he's like literally quoting Erdogan in his tweets and like saying like Azerbaijan and Turkey are like one nation. And I'm like, yo, homie, like you would never even mention Azerbaijan 4 weeks ago. Like, what are you doing, dude? Like, it's like a dog. Like, you're just you're like the mouthpiece for Erdogan. And he did tweet about the Ensars thing, the Nigerian thing too. But it's probably just like toxic. But yeah, like you're saying, when his traffic is also traffic for Arsenal too, and that's important. So there is a benefit to keeping him on your roster, but there's no benefit with him on the pitch. And I just feel like he's like, there's a difference between being like talking about like domestic situations. Like people talk about like LeBron, like LeBron got the shut up and dribble treatment, but he's talking about stuff happening like in his own place. Also talking about like Armenia, Azerbaijan, like you're wading into like geopolitics and stuff, and it's like, dog, like Turkey might change sides tomorrow. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, I just think he's kind of lame at this point. And yeah, he like, it's gonna blow up. It's gonna come back to hit him in the face. All this like geopolitics stuff he's talking about.
I'm not gonna do this because obviously I don't like to like jump into. I don't want to jump into different sports when we're doing this. But to me, it's like with him, it's Erdogan. Like that dude has lived a whole life before you ever existed. Like he's done things in his life. He's made decisions that he never thought about. Well, what's gonna happen with Ozil's career if I do this to him? If I do this, that's not what goes down. So whenever you put your undivided career, faith, and trust into a political leader, my man, like, have you watched movies? It doesn't end well. Like, it's not going to end well, especially when it's somebody whose mission is not, hugs and rainbows. His mission's kind of not doing that. So unless, like, you follow some kind of cult that I don't know about that's about different, then I get it. But, man, it's not going to end well for you. You're playing in a sport. So, yes, politics is a major part of sports, absolutely. But the thing is when you're taking sides and alliances within that, and you're siding in like something that's geopolitical, and then you're also not only just dealing with Erdogan, but now you're jumping into the discussions between what's happening in other nations and their beef, dude. Like it's just if you care about your life and your family and people around you and just your situation and career, then don't do that kind of stuff because like it's just not going to end well for you, homie. Like, you know, and also like other people that are tied to you are going to be automatically involved in this that don't need to be. Like you're putting weight on people. Like you might have a cousin you don't know about or even your mom or your sister. Like you're doing a lot. That's why I think I understand completely when a lot of like celebrities or athletes don't want to talk about a situation going on at home. Even when they don't even talk about what president they're voting for. Please don't make me mad because how mad I am. I can't even imagine someone who might do something crazy. Like there's crazy people in this world. There's people that do not think about I can't hurt somebody. There's bad people on this planet. So don't do this, dog. You're not a savior if you're doing this. You're not cool. You're not, oh man, it's good that it's really good that he's over here direct quoting everyone. Come on, dog. You're really not. And those people over there, and you know, I'm talking a lot. The last thing I'll say is this. What I like most is people that move in silence. People that do things behind it. If you really care what's going on over there, I'd rather him quietly look at what's going on in Western China or whatever, quietly look into organizations that do direct relief work, do something on that end, and then move about. But when you start like, and then you want to make a tweet saying that what you're doing, great. But when you start like picking political leaders, but then have an issue what's going on over there, you look like a hypocrite and you do like you don't know what you read. You look like someone's talking to you and it doesn't make sense. So just Ozil, like I liked you before and like now it's just really hard. It's really hard for me to do this. I was a person when he left Real Madrid, I was like, good for him, dog. Like, come on, man. Like he needed to get that time. He wasn't a Real Madrid player. It's not gonna work over here. Go to Arsenal. He started balling out in the beginning.
Only one league title and one Copa del Rey at Real Madrid. But
I mean, he was definitely not going to start over Kaká. I don't know what his mindset was, but dude, you're not better than him. I'm sorry. Kaká's phenomenal.
Yeah,
he's just not good with an international team.
Like it's like I said, it's going to come back to bite him because you're picking sides, and you're not talking about like the most you're not talking about the most democratic rule of law place in the world. And I just, this is the last thing I want to say. Like I just watched the documentary about Jamal Khashoggi, the journalist that was killed and sawed up at the Saudi embassy in Turkey a couple years ago. And one of the reasons why he became like a dissident in a lot of ways with Saudi Arabia was he was seeing like something new in regards to like, you know, if somebody said something that just was like a little bit critical, if they couldn't get that person, like they would go get their family and be having their family locked up in places and making and even with Jamal Khashoggi, after he was killed, they like forced his family to come out and like make a statement, and you could like tell it was like super uncomfortable. I don't know if they got some dirt on Ozil. I don't know, but like it's like it would be different if you were like on the pitch balling out, but like since you're like riding pine, like now you want to become an activist, it's a little bit lame. And you're not even being an activist, you're talking about geopolitics. If he was talking about stuff going on in England, stuff going on in Germany, it would make more sense. Or if he was talking about stuff going on in Turkey.
Yeah, you're talking about that.
Yeah, you're like, I mean, actually it would be weird if you're talking about stuff. But but whatever. It would make more sense than him talking about like a war between Turkey and between Armenia and Azerbaijan. Like, yo, dog, like, and talking about like China's domestic policy. Like, why don't you talk about Turkey's domestic policy? Why don't you talk about Germany? Why don't you talk about England? Like,
I've seen you post some pictures, you know, on his Instagram flexing in his bins. I don't want to see you talking about Azerbaijan or Armenia. I don't want to see that, dog. Worry about what you're doing at the crib, homie. Like, honestly, worry about that. Because, like I said, if you were talking about something that relates to you based upon your experiences in life, I'm never going to tell you not to talk about it. But when it talks about like you talking about two other nations' geopolitics, get off of it, dude. Get off of it, man.
Wait, Caesar, you're not going to tell me about he's talking about flexing a bins.
Yeah, I remember seeing a couple years ago, or a year ago or something like that. He's over here flexing in the SLK or something. I'm like, what are you doing, dog? He probably took him down because now he's a political warrior. But I didn't forget that picture. I was like, this is weird. Who out here wants to do a photo op with Ozil? That's goofy.
Yeah, honestly, it's just whoa. Oh, it's just tough because like you know what's going on, and like I'm judging the athlete by how he is on the pitch, and he's toxic on the pitch. Every time he would get subbed after he's playing bad, being all mad, it's like, dog, you playing terrible. But anyway, it's 4:10. I think we started at 4:15. I don't think this is the shortest episode ever, but that's your fault. But yeah, anyway, make sure you check us out. WeMadeItPodcast.com, We Made It Podcast on all social media. Follow us on Twitter, We Made It Podcast, and make sure you follow us. Check out Medium. Be posting some articles. Should I do an article, a short joint about Ozil or what?
That'd be actually really dope. You kind of went hard on Ozil. That'd be actually kind of dope.
Like,
I actually want to read that.
Damn, you ain't read the other ones? Wow.
That's not what I meant. I said I want to read that. I said,
okay.
Man, you know what I'm saying? Out here kind of flexing a little bit, big dog. You know what I'm saying? Well,
yeah,
whoa. Okay, big flex out here before we go to London. All right, dog, okay.
Caesar, that's from 2017.
It is.
Yeah.
How'd you know the year? That's weird.
I don't know. I just guessed.
Oh, look. I guess the mission was different back then, huh?
But you know why I guessed 2017? It's because he wasn't talking about politics back then.
No, he wasn't. He was flexing in the bins.
He wasn't talking about Turkey and stuff back then.
No, he was not. And there wasn't a damn post about that.
And not that you can't change.
Did he have any tweets about Egypt when they had everything going on? Did he have any tweets on that? I want to see.
I mean, he might, but it's not like, but it's like, I feel like that's a little bit different. Like you're talking about like, oh man, there's the people struggling. Oh, that sucks. Even if he's talking about SARS in Nigeria, like, yeah, you seeing people suffer, that's bad. But when you start talking about like picking sides in like some weird proxy war, which like the side that you're on is also the same side that like Israel's on.
Suspect.
I thought you was super duper muzzy man out here. You ain't seen them pictures with the Azerbaijan president and Netanyahu hanging out? Now we're really banned.
Now we've done it. And all it takes is a little bit. You just get banned, wind up a little bit in some geopolitics, and he starts going hard. Here we go.
I'm going to cut that part out of the podcast episode. It's going to stay on YouTube, though.
I mean, yeah, which is great.
Yeah, because nobody looks at the YouTube. That's fine. I'm going to take that part.
Before we end, make sure you please follow us on Twitter. We Made It Podcast. You know, I was really upset. I did set a goal for us end of October, and y'all, or maybe September, I don't remember. Y'all played me. Y'all still haven't followed. What happened to 110 or whatever people we have, 74, whatever the hell they're at? Where'd those fools go? I'm gonna find them. And I'm gonna make them follow us again.
It's funny because like we be getting like random likes and stuff. I'm like, damn, why don't you follow us though?
Yeah, come on, damn. They probably think they're following us already. To be honest with you, so anyway, I'll be real. They probably do. It's the same damn handle. Like, oh, I didn't follow you. Okay.
Yeah. They're like, oh, I remember these guys.
Another one. Your boy has transitioned off of Twitch permanently. I'm no longer on Twitch. You can catch me at We Made It C's on YouTube. I'm on YouTube now. We Made It C's. Yeah, your boy moved off of Twitch. I can't ride with Twitch. I can't do it no more. I can't. I just can't do it. I can't be rolling with Amazon like that. I'm good, dog.
I might put that in the beginning.
What?
I might put that part in the beginning.
Okay.
I'm trying to help you out.
You start mixing and mastering now. Okay.
Trying to help you out.
I appreciate that. Yeah, so please, your boy's now on YouTube.
All right. Anyway, We Made a Podcast, WeMadeItPodcast.com. We Made a Podcast on all social media, Twitter, Instagram. Follow us on Medium and follow C's at We Made It something.
Get C's.
Yeah, holler.